A lot of people had a family faith formation. We talked yesterday about, for me, these are the kind of the big five, though they're not limited to that by any means. But certainly in number one, how do we nurture family faith at home? How do we build strong families? How do we build strong families? We've got some good research for that from the Search Institute. Parent faith formation, parent training, parent education. In many ways, the intergenerational shift for many churches is easier than this shift. Because this is all about rebuilding credibility with these people that we are here for you and not you are here for us. It's a huge shift in the way we think about families. And so when we're thinking about family faith, we want to nurture these 8 faith-forming practices at home. And so it puts us in the role as congregation, as equipper, as modeler, as trainer, as resourcer of people at home. And the assets, equipping, modeling, training, and resourcing families at home. Because one of the things that families don't have is time. Families with children, parents with children and teens, what they don't have a lot of is time. So the question is, how do you expand the time that you are with them, not necessarily the time they are with you? So how do we target the special times during the day? Now, again, 15 years ago, if I was doing this, we said, well, we can give you a little devotional, we'll give you a bookmark, we'll give you, right? Remember those days when you, like church bulletin days, basically, all right? We'll do an insert in the bulletin. Now you can actually target these pretty strategically without printing any paper. How do we help people through the day? Meal times, card times, morning and bedtime, exit and entries, family sharing times. If you want people to pray a grace before meal, then give them something that they can put on their table, like their phone or their tablet. It's just in time. If you want them to have a family discussion, it better be something you could do in the car. Because if you're a parent with children and teens, you're driving. We're driving. And if you want parents to grow in faith, it better be something they can access on their mobile device because they're waiting. And if you've paid for a babysitter recently, coming to a church program could be a very costly affair if you could find a babysitter on Wednesday night. So the question becomes, how do we infiltrate daily life? So through the day, we've got those opportunities. Through the year, people will participate if we have a relationship with them. So no marketing, it's all relationship building. Church year, rituals. And the more we rethink how we do children's ministry, so the children are in a much more performative stance as opposed to a receptive stance. Anybody ever been to an elementary school concert? Did you go for the music? My wife and I went out on our way home after the last concert. Both stopped by, had a glass of wine to say, the fifth grader, the youngest one, we have graduated to middle school concerts. No more elementary school concerts. So why do people go to elementary music school concerts? For their kids. Grandparents come. You got to get there earlier. You won't get a seat. Because it's in the cafeteria, right? It's elementary school. Once we shift the way we do learning, like intergenerational, we open up the possibility of what the generations sharing with each other at Sunday worship, in events, in gatherings. And nothing brings people out, especially grandparents, to see their grandkids perform. How else do you explain the magic of a children's pageant at Christmas time? Not because of the acting. So the family also opens up across its milestones and life cycles. But the problem with milestones and life cycle rituals is they just happen. And you can't be just in time. We can be just in time for baptism because we know that's coming. You got 9 months to get ready for it at church. But an anniversary, a birthday, an end of the school, baseball team won the championship. Church can't be there, but now it can. So how do we take these ordinary moments and make them religiously significant moments? You can do this now. And key family moments, good times and hard times, times of joy, times of sorrow. How do we just debrief our day? Highs and lows. And then life issues and life skills, parenting, decision-making, financial planning, communication, and more. There's a role for on-campus programming, but it's always going to be second to online programming with families today because they're so darn busy. So, when we're thinking creatively about families, we're going to want to build a platform for them. This is just a make-believe. Holy Trinity Church does not really exist online. I had people signing up for my webinars, and I had a heart to write to them and say, it's just a demonstration site. You would have liked my webinar. So here's part of my website, and you're going to build this out. We're going to do this for whatever project area you're working on when we gather in August. This is an online complement to the physical programming we do on campus or in other community settings. So we know how busy parents are, so flip it. My first Wednesday parent webinar series, you'd like my church a lot, by the way. And there's enough Holy Trinities in here that you could probably steal this without any problem. And there's like 5 Holy Trinities in here. So this is my 5 Wednesday program. We bring the program to you. Stay home, put your feet up, get your big screen TV, whatever you want. Go to a neighbor's house, bring a bottle of Chardonnay or Cabernet or beer, put your feet up, and for an hour we're coming to you. What's not to like? No gas, no travel, no babysitting. Here's the URL. Plug into this, goes right to our website or goes to GoToWebinar or goes to a Google Plus Hangout, whatever it is. I've got a great presenter for 45 minutes. We do question and answers for 15 in a chat box. I don't have to worry about bandwidth. I can cover topics really pertinent to families with children and teens. And you don't see my May program up there. Because my May program looks something like this. Come on. Come to a dinner. Look, I'll give you babysitting, and the dinner is almost free. What's not to like? So after 4 months of being online, come meet the people who have been watching this with you. This is just a great promo. It's not the program, though I would like it to be the program. 6:30 to 8, don't worry about the dates. $5, childcare dinner. You think they're going to come? Of course they're going to come. Because they already know about it 6 months in advance, and for 4 months they've been learning online. They want to figure out, who is this church that's doing this? Meet us. We'll parade in. And the benefit of this, if you're thinking big about this, the benefit of this is also missional. Because if we're good, parents are going to talk. And they're going to bring their social networks. So if my session on establishing family traditions and routines is a good session, they're going to post that on, and they're going to send 144 characters on, and they're going to talk to the person standing next to them at basketball practice as they watch this because they missed it or they want to see it again. And the person says, well, where'd you get that from? Well, my church does that. Your church does a webinar? Yeah, I do. To your home? Yeah, they do. What's not to like? And you could stay home. No tables, no chairs, no coffee, no cleanup. What's not to like? Most of us are going to be doing that 30 seconds before they get beamed up. And then the online ability to put great resources right in their fingertips just in time, whenever they want it. This great content, none of which you've created. Because I don't think I have that link. Hold on a minute. Because Parent Further has done it for me. The content's already up here. Experts, parent experts have written the content that I'm going to put on my website. So I am simply linking them to absolutely wonderful content. I'll put all these websites will be online for you. So I can help them go deeper on all the topics in my webinar without them leaving home. Just in time, open 24/7, 365. And if you miss my great webinar series, it's okay. You can watch it online anytime you want. And when I'm done with these four, I have 4 programs in my library at Holy Trinity Families. I can reuse that content. And if they come to my May gathering, I'll do a little survey, I'll get the topics they want for the fall, and off I go. This is doable. Heck, if a 65-year-old did this, you can do it. I have other categories like family life, Sunday worship, seasons of the year. My season of the year, it's just very simple. Very, very simple. 1 thing per month. If they do that, I'll be thrilled. I'll do a happy dance across the floor. So and it's something that's happening in that month. And I wrote none of these activities. They're all from Vibrant Faith at Home. They were all done. Simply linked to them. I just went looking for something for each of the months. And then I did a whole 40 days of Lent as a special that they could go to. How you doing? This is just the new way we're going to program and design. We're going to design with people in person. We're going to design with people at home. We're going to design online. We're going to design one-on-one. And all of it is faith formation. And it's portable. Because they're going to come to a church, I want them there on Sunday or Wednesday, whatever night, but I want them there for something that's going to be part of the whole community. I can deliver this in a direct, personal way. How you doing? You all right? You have your, okay. All right. So, all these examples are in the PowerPoint, so if I don't cover all of them, it's okay. So let me do a couple more examples. Certainly one of the things that you can also do is family-centered learning. But if you go to intergenerational, you're going to get the families with it. So people say, should I do family-centered only? I said, why don't you just build family-centered into the whole intergenerational? It'll be better for everybody and easier for you. One model, everybody under one big tent. But people love to learn together. You can make that happen. Lots of different models for this. Just choose where you want to go. Try it. People say, which one will work? They all work. It just depends on your people and your context. Milestones are a great, great way, especially for families to do faith formation. Why? These are naturally occurring things in the life of the family. These things just naturally occur. And most of the time, for our point of view, they go unnoticed. So this is just paying attention. So the things that are happening that either are family only or connect family with church, there's so many. Now, this list is from the Milestones Ministry. This was something Vibrant Faith worked on for decades, and now is a separate project called Milestones Ministry that David Anderson, who was here in April, and Debbie Stryker run. But you can take milestones all the way through the end of life. I love the AARP card one. Is that what you saw? So I knew you got that one. See, so here's what I don't understand. You have to help me figure this out. So give or take 30 days of your 50th birthday, AARP gets a card to you. My church can't figure out when my birthday is, but AARP can figure it out. So, like, it's not like the option is, well, gee, we should do more at church. My point is, no. You can't figure out my birthday. What's the chance you're going to be just in time for a milestone? We're just not that nimble. But these things happen all the time. What if church was a place where we celebrated those things, maybe on an annual cycle, but we're just in time when they pop at home and we explore the religious significance of these transitions in people's lives? See what I mean? The church as a resource to people around the times of their life that are coming back up on the screen, there we go, that happen on their own schedule, not ours. And so I'll just show you real quick, and there's a link online. We could do more, we'll do more with this, but Debbie and David's site, Milestones Ministry. If you have never been there, we'll check it out. I'll put the link is on the page on Lifelong Faith with all the PowerPoints, but they've got all the resources there and all the milestones. Very easy to work with. There's their new adult milestones. So you can celebrate anniversaries of marriage once a year, but it'd really be nice to be able to celebrate it with the family when they're doing it. And the only way to do that is what? Be able to deliver it to the home and equip them to do it. So we model it at church, how we ritualize and learn from the milestones so that people can do this in their daily life, which is where we want them to do it. If celebrating birthdays and anniversaries and highs and lows and ups and downs and transitions and starts and stops were part of family life, and we probe the religious significance of those, everything we do at home would be faith formation. That won't happen in a week. That'll happen over the next 5 years. But it's the right thing, I think, to happen. Again, don't worry about competition. Nobody's doing this. People say, oh, gee, will other churches compete with us? Well, if they do, I'd be thrilled. I'll give you one more example. This is First Church Simsbury. I mentioned them yesterday, Simsbury, Connecticut. And this is what it looks like when they work with their preschool families. And this is the at-home faith experiences. See if I can get down to it. Oh, yeah. So this was May. They do it from September to May. And it's Our Father Month. You can't have 4 themes. You pick one, you focus their attention. It was Our Father Month, and what Cindy does is she aggregates great content, videos on the side, no copyright problems at all here because she's just linking those. She's playing it from YouTube. On the left, storybook, prayer book, all reproducible. The site gives you permission to use them. Matching cards, crafts with pictures for dads so dads know what it looks like in advance. Well, you can write instructions for dads, but that would be useless because what dads read instructions, right? And then Prayer Cube to print and assemble. She does this every month during the year. This is 10 months a year. And it's just thematizing the month and then aggregating great resources that are portable that moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas can do with their kids. And grandparents don't have to be physically located. If they're both in the site, they can lift up the book. The kids can lift up the book on mom or dad's iPhone, and you can read this story or do this activity at a distance. And this closes the distance gap. It's really simple stuff. Really simple stuff. Some of the stuff you probably would have done at Sunday school class with children. But we have such a small sliver of time. Now it's available 24/7, 365. I think family faith formation is not only possible, I think it's a lot easier than we think it is. This is a great activity. This is a church that celebrates the beginning of the year. This is a milestone. It's called Back to School, and it's the blessing of backpacks. There's a whole ritual online, blessing backpacks. It's very simple. It's kind of simple stuff. And they did a 10 to 2 p.m. free event. If you want it to be missional, by the way, and reach people, you can't charge for it. Like the church picnic gets a lot of people if you don't charge for the food. If you charge for the food, you only get people who come to Sunday worship. So make it missional. Open up to the whole community. Everybody can bring their backpacks. Backpacks, briefcases, duffel bags, whatever they're, to start the new year. They turned it into a 10 to 2 event. They have people from the whole community come to this church. They do it on the lawn outside. They serve great hot dogs and hamburgers. You get the old men's group to finance the whole thing. That's what we do. We do that well. Yeah, we'll fund that. All right, got it. Got it. We'll cook. Don't worry, got it covered. Well, you give them a job. You want them there. If you don't put them to work, they will think it's not for them. So you put them to work. They're used to working. Simple stuff. Just simple stuff. Now, on all these strategies, it's not just the one thing you do. It's the accumulation of these things over the course of 12 months, 24 months, 30, that reestablishes relationships and reestablishes the church's presence in the community and in people's daily life. That is the biggest change. Because once you have a relationship with people and credibility, you can do anything. Sky's the limit. So here's a Lutheran church out in Raleigh's country, Fargo, North Dakota. And there he is, they got him. And they've organized their at-church curriculum. Every month, they're addressing a milestone. So complement the structured calendar with the just-in-time, and you got Milestones Ministry just cooking. Because it's naturally occurring events. You don't have to tell a family, yeah, this is about, celebrating a birthday. I mean, how much more do you have to tell them? Especially if you have young kids' birthdays. Remember when you said you could do birthday, here's your cake, be nice, sit there, eat it. Now it's like, you bring in a Broadway production company to do birthdays. So people get the milestones. There's their backpacks. This was a couple of years ago. Was September 9th, but they have this whole pattern through the year. This is the congregational milestones, intergenerational, that match up with the just-in-time at-home milestones, bridged with what? Your online platform. Simple stuff. Okay. You kind of got the drift of where I'm going with this, right? Here's a no competition strategy in family. So if you want to think about families and where's the need, starting early, prenatal. Look, you get 9 months to get ready, 5 months it's showing, so people are getting pregnant. They're having a baby. Maybe we should work with them. How do we start families on the right foot in terms of faith? Starting right. Things like preparing them for the vocation of parenting, understanding the young child. If it's a first child, they haven't got a clue. They don't realize the day that baby is born, their life is over. And they won't get it back till that child's 25 years old. That's gone. That's it. He's at 25, you finally change the locks on the door and they can't get back in. Or, as one couple said, this was a great example, at a workshop, said, we gave them the house and we moved into an apartment. Baptism milestone. Resource. So grandparents want to tell great stories to their grandkids. Where do you go for that? What are the great Bible story books? What are the great faith-inspired books? Books have not gone away if you're working with young children. Books are bigger than ever. It's almost like it's a response to everything's digital. Though my 3-year-old granddaughter, once she got used to her mom's phone, when she looks at a book, she goes like this, and the book, things don't move on the page. See what I'm saying? This is print. Things don't move on the page. Grandpa changes the book page. All right? The whole family system opens up at this point. There's so much faith formation that can go on for the parents and the whole family system. That's just another window. There's all kinds of windows. When you start thinking not church, but what's going on in the life of the family, and how can we resource that and walk alongside them. The other thing you think about too, a number of churches have done this with great success. You have people in my generation, so the grandparent generation, so to speak. Whether you have grandkids close or not doesn't make a difference. They're great mentors for young parents. You already got us. We're very easy to find. We've had hip replacements and knee replacements. We move a lot slower. We're not selling our houses because we don't want to be too far away from our grandkids. We're not going to Florida anymore. We're not going to Phoenix. We're staying here. Complaining for 3 months about the weather in January, February, and March, but we're staying. So you've got us. Have you thought about going to my generation and saying, we'd like you to mentor a new family for the next 5 or 6 years? You've already got us. It's part of your assets. Great websites. I can give you 100. I'm not going to do that. But great websites, great content, fun stuff. Here's a missional activity that can double up as a family activity. This is an example from the Fresh Expressions Project of the Anglicans in the United Kingdom. You can just Google Wesley Playhouse. This was once, still is really, a Methodist church about 60 miles north of London. And the church was down to about 12 members. They weren't young. So one of the people on the staff said, we have really only 2 choices, die or repurpose ourselves. And so what they did was, this is the inside of the Methodist church. They have turned it into a playhouse for the whole community. They did this back in 07, 08. They got a small grant from the Archbishop Canterbury, part of this project, and they redid this. They're right downtown. It's an old church, so we're old churches. They're downtown. Playhouse, parent programs, it's their base of operating, including Sunday worship. You can't read that, so I'll read it for you. Well, it's not, you get it online. About 1,000 preschool children. This is a small town. About 1,000 preschool children plus mums. They spelled it wrong, but you know. Dads and grandparents visit the play area midweek for fun and real. 1,000. 1,000. Wouldn't you be thrilled if 1,000 came through every month? Those that come know it as a soft play area run by Christians. There is a prayer board as well as booklets on tables introducing the Christian faith. Volunteers chat with those who use the center, spelled wrong, R-E. And counseling, 2 L's, has been created that offers parents a chance for a quiet chat while being able to watch their children play through a large glass window. This is going to McDonald's and looking at the play area. I mean, you have examples all around you. if you need to see this, just go to Sesame Street, Enterprises across the river. Feedback Caroline and the team received from those using the Playhouse has been remarkably positive. The relaxed and caring atmosphere of the Playhouse is sensed and much appreciated. For the numerous parties that are held at the center, invitations are included in the party bags for families to come to the once-a-month Sunday 4 p.m. gathering called Playhouse Praise. John Wesley is doing a happy dance. Crafts, songs, and prayers are used in a similar style to a messy church gathering. Familiar with messy church? I don't mean how well, maintain your church is. It's a whole model of church. I'll show you in a minute. 3 christenings have taken place in the center this year. The majority of those who visit Playhouse Praise have never before had any meaningful contact with church.